really a long journey to My Fair Lady. Just unbelievably twisted, self-loathing sense of recovery to finally finding the person I really loved, and the person who really loved me. I was born in the Bronx, in an all-white neighborhood, so it was the Irish against the Jews. And when I was 5, an Irish kid yelled at me for killing Christ. And I didn't know I was Jewish, and I didn't know anything about Christ, except whoever he was causing me a lot of trouble. And then I went to high school in Harlem, at the High School of Music and Art. And in Harlem, people there didn't hate me because I was Jewish. They hated me because I was white. And I discovered skiing, and then I discovered ice skating and snow, and I moved to Vermont. And in Vermont, people didn't hate me because I was white or Jewish. They hated me because I was a New Yorker. And then I got accepted to the University of Oregon. I had terrible grades in college, but I got accepted to the University of Oregon. I flew out to Oregon, and they heard my New York accent, and they thought I came from Australia. And they liked me, which was a relief. So I stayed, and I never told them I was Jewish. I was living outside of Eugene, Oregon, and all my neighbors thought Jews had horns. And then I decided to be a musician, and I went to Seattle, and a series of things led me to live on the streets. In the winter and the rain, I was a drug addict for a long time. I cry a lot. And one night I was still living on the streets, and I walked into a delicatessen. They were having an open mic, and it's called Matzo Mama's. And I played a song, and the owner really dug what I was doing. And I went back the next week, and we talked. He offered me a job as his musical director. And the pay was $1 a day and a bowl of soup. And at that time, that was, for me, a raise. And we did really well, and one afternoon I was at a friend's house, and he had a flute hanging on the wall, and it was I said, "What is that flute?" And he said, "Play it," and I played it. And he said no one had ever been able to play it, and he gave it to me. It was a Japanese shakuhachi flute. And 4 years later, I met my teacher, Hodo Yamaguchi Sensei, and I studied with him when he was 69 till he passed away when he was 79. And one day he asked me to play for him, and he hated improvisation. And I'm a jazz guy, I love to improvise. And he didn't know I was improvising, and I just played for him, and I played from my teacher. My soul was going through the flute. And when I finished, he said, "Ah, Jewish tunes." He didn't know it was funny, you know. When he said it to me, I just, oh, that's funny. I gotta tell that somewhere. And then one night at the deli, the place was closed, and I was talking to the piano player, and I hadn't told anybody I was Jewish. They suspected. But they weren't sure. And then the dishwasher said, "What are you?" And I told him I was an Indian. And you know, Indians go, oh yeah, 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 and Jews go, oh yeah, 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 yeah. So this guy wanted to know what I believed in. My mind flashed through every book I read. I believe in Zen Judaism. And he laughed, and then he said, well, as a Zen Jew, what do you believe? And then I thought of every thought I ever thought, and I came up with this other thought, and it said, everything is sacred and everything is marketable. And then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I realized that this Zen Judaism thing was very similar to Zen, but a little different. And like in Zen, the idea is to live in the moment, and in Zen Judaism, we want to live in the moment, but there's not enough time. In Zen, the idea is to get rid of your ego. We believe wherever ego, I go. I wrote the prayer book for this new religion. It's called The Complete Book of Everything, Part 1. Second edition. We have our own form of meditation. It's called Transcendental Hesitation. I love to meditate, and I've discovered after many years that I meditate much better when I have money. And we have opinions. This book is full of, that's what religion is about. It's just opinions. For instance, abortion. That's a big issue that very few people are talking about, and we have the answer to that. The big question in abortion is, when does the fetus become a person? We believe the fetus becomes a person when it stops calling home for money. We're the only religion to believe in evolution. Nobody else does. And I met a guy who did not believe in evolution, and I said to him, even with all the proof, and he said the proof didn't matter. And that's when I realized evolution was slower than I thought. And we don't believe in outer space. We just believe in space. I hear the word outer space, you know, this is outer space. We're in outer space, but it's just space to me. And nobody knows how it began. Stephen Hawking, I read that, he said that where space ends, there's nothing. And whenever I try and think of nothing, I see something. So it's like, nothing doesn't exist because nothing exists. It's very complicated. So I got married and divorced in Seattle, and drugs. And then I came to LA. I've been living on the streets. I had no identification, no social security, no driver's license, no library card, no passport, nothing. And $25 and a Japanese flu. And I was 39 years old to make it in Hollywood. 6 years later, I was doing a comedy show, and I was really dirty that night. Oh, beautiful. And when my bit was done, I sat in the audience and I saw a woman. I've been married twice, and I've been through 3 abortions. I seem to not know much about. I always had the kind of love that could only be stopped by a restraining order. People told me you got to learn to love yourself before you can love somebody else, and I thought, oh, shit, that could take forever. So I actually tried loving somebody else before I loved myself, and I wound up hating both of us. And then I met someone who said, David, you can hate yourself. I don't care, I'm going to love you no matter what. And it was amazing because her loving gave me the courage I needed to hate myself in front of her. And that felt really good. And we got married. And then marriage taught me the importance of divorce. I didn't know you could get divorced. My parents, Jews, they were married 61 years. In my family, you did not get divorced, you just stayed together and suffered. The woman I married wasn't Jewish, so she didn't know about suffering. So I taught her. But she taught me this. She told me if you didn't like someone, you didn't have to stay with them forever. And once I learned that, it made my second marriage go a lot faster. We got divorced, and I started dating, and I would meet somebody and hang out with them and be cool, and then 6 months later I'd see some stuff not work. And I wished I'd known that stuff on the first date, because then there wouldn't have been a second date. So I wrote a first date questionnaire. So when I go on a date, I would just take out these questions to see what I'm going to find out sooner than way later. And question one, you're in a cafe. Is there anybody else you're fucking? Is Barbara your real name? Do you have any warrants? Do you still talk to your last lover? Why? Do you owe your last lover any money? How much? Do they expect you to pay them back? Do you intend to pay them back? Why not? How many of your friends would loan you money? Why don't you have any friends? Do your parents still send you money? Why do you need so much fucking money? Do you have a copy of your credit report? Can I see it? Why not? Is your herpes in remission? Do you know who gave you herpes? Why not? Thank you for answering these questions. Goodbye. Now to get back to the show where I was sitting in the audience and I saw this woman who I couldn't stop looking at. And I noticed she only laughed when the joke was really smart. Wow. When the show was over, I went to the bathroom and she was coming out and she smiled at me and I thought, whoa, it was beautiful. Then the producer said, someone would like to meet you. And it was her. And the producer told me she was 22, Latin, and liked older men. I was 59, Jewish, and she was way too young. She sent me an email the next day saying, I can't stop thinking about you and your performance. It was nice. So I asked her to come to a show, and we went out afterwards, and we've been together ever since. 13 years. And she's given me my best jokes. I'm making a fortune off of them. For instance, my wife is Cuban, which is Spanish for jealous. Cubans don't get divorced, they kill you. My wife knows her jealousy is insane. She told me she was by herself and she saw a woman she thought I would think was attractive. She got pissed off at me. I wasn't even there. And we have a huge age difference. But I'm glad I married someone young. Without her, my computer would still be dialing. Being young, she made a major mistake. She read my journal. She got jealous of some sex I had before she was born. We have a great life. We live in Burbank. We have 3 cats. They're outdoor cats. They just come inside to shit. We've been together 13 years now, and our cultural differences are blending. She's Cuban, she's in therapy. I'm Jewish, I love pork. The major part of the story is, a little while ago, she asked me to have a baby. I was 69 years old. There's not many guys my age having kids. In the Bible, there was Abraham. Now me. So we made a night to make a baby. We made the night really romantic. We have a beautiful fireplace. It's on our iPad. She got pregnant. Boom! Right away, my friends started asking me, "Do you want a girl or a boy?" And I said, "You know, I'm a musician. I'm a comedian. What I really want is a good drummer." We had a home delivery, which was amazing. And people told me, the first time you see your baby, you're going to fall in love. Bullshit. I saw my daughter coming outside and my wife with a little wet head. It looked like a little midget coming out of a shower. Now I saw my daughter take her first steps. She walks the way Joe Cocker sings. I bought a movie because I wanted to teach her about colors and shapes. She hated it. What she really liked was watching Apocalypse Now. Well, now she's 3.5. I'm crazy in love. I'm living an amazing life. I've gotten rid of some of the worst problems in my life. The biggest one was negative thinking. I didn't know I had negative thinking until I had a positive thought. I think I'd like to leave you with that thought.